Okay, thank you very much. I am Mr. Mellis. I'm going to present the research title entitled as Planning and Design Assistance for Urban Cluster, governing growth aspects of urban areas for sustainable development. And also, I'd like to thank for giving me the chance. Uh, this is the presentation outline. Under this presentation, we'll deal with the introduction part and then the methodology, which includes the materials and the methods that we followed. And in the third section, we'll see the results of discussion and finally come up with the conclusion and recommendation. To start off, I'll shortly just give you some highlight on what is urban growth and what are those urban growth aspects are. So specifically when referring to the urban growth, we are simply referring to the physical spatial expansions and the population growth of urban areas. So we can just say that urban growth is a spatial and demographic process where the population distribution is changing from just sparsely settled to just predominantly dense settlements like city or urban. So this process of change in population size and distributions, as well as the conversions or transformation of non-built up land to built up urban land, is referred to as urban growth. So this urban growth has two effects or implications. As one aspect is the physical spatial expansion, and the second is the demographic change. As I said, there is a change in size as well as in distribution. And also, there is an increase in number or in land coverage, which is referred as horizontal expansion. So next to this, there are also growth directions, and this growth has a steady state. It takes the form of sustainable development, or it may form some negative aspect, as we will mention next as urban sprawl. So when this urban growth toward sustainability is mentioned, there is one concept which has a negative tone or connotations to that of growth. That means an urban sprawl, and this is a type of an urban growth which have some special character, which means it has some negative implications. That means that it is undesirable type of urban growth, which is characterized by those unplanned and uneven patterns of growth. So this excessive physical growth of urban areas result in sprawl and occurs when the rate at which the land is converted to non-agricultural or to urban functions, and also it exceeds the rate of the growth of population. So the aim is that how to govern this growth aspect of urban centers to harvest the sustainable development in the aim or the major questions that they intended to answer. So coming to the problem statements, it's a number of urban areas in Ethiopia now reached to 1,426, as is displayed in the table number 1. And some of the major urban areas in the regions of Ethiopia are also highlighted in the map within the red one, with populations having more than 15,000, and those with the blue with population from 20,000 up to 50, and the one with a blue dot from 10,000 up to 20,000 as the three categories. So most of these urban areas are expanding spatially, and the population is also moving towards those land settlements and towards the urban periphery at the expense of the surrounding natural land or environment. So those urban centers in Ethiopia increase in number as well as the increase in size of their settlement. This results in consumptions of the natural landscape and fertile lands for various agricultural functions. And also specifically coming to this study, and it is focused in southern Ethiopia. So the number of settlements which were selected or recognized as urban center now is more than 300, and out of these 300, around 137 urban centers have physical plan. This may now increase because these statistics were during 2014, and now they may increase, but actually this refers as the number of urban areas with a physical plan are less than that of urban centers without having plans. So this map shows some distributions of leading cities, the higher cities, middle cities, and municipal towns in southern nation. So the number of urban settlements with their increasing population inside and with the spatial expansion, there is a conversion of the natural lands into the urban lands without plans. And this forces to supplement with uneven distributions and inadequacy of all kinds of infrastructures and other utilities. This invites the urban sprawl. So generally, the aim of the study is to analyze the growth aspects of urban areas from 1984 up to 2020 for the past 13 years and try to recommend strategies to govern the growth aspect of the urban sector. So it has specific objectives. These specific objectives firstly aim to analyze the physical spatial expansion. Next, analyze the trends of population growth, and thirdly, determining the extent of urban sprawl. And finally, there is a recommending planning and design strategies. So, coming from these objectives, there are two basic questions for the research. What is the extent of urban growth and sprawl for the selected urban areas, and what strategies to be adopted by those public agencies in order to govern the urban areas growth towards sustainable development? Here is the three study areas selected for the research: Arba Minch, Sodo, and Hosaena, and the map shows the three urban areas, Sodo, Hosaena, and Arba Minch along the one lines of route from Addis to Jinka. And this shows the aerial photographs that shows the existing conditions of the urban physical aspect. And here the types of data and the source of data that we use during the study. We used Landsat images from USCGS and from Ethiopian Geospatial Information Institute and the Central Statistic Agency report for the population census. And this is presents the Landsat information that is required or used for the data analysis, and also this is the statistical data which is obtained from the central statistic agencies and the municipalities of the towns. So the tools that we use during the analysis is those GIS, two versions. The first one is 10.41 versions, and later the recent 10.8 versions, and also Microsoft Excel was used to just do the statistical analysis. So the analysis techniques follows too, the spatial analysis using the GIS. We follow this procedure, the first identifying the Landsat image and undertaking pre-processing, and then classifying those images using the supervised and unsupervised classification. And then after, we extract the area of interest, and from that area of interest we also extract the built-up area. And then secondly, we conducted the statistical analysis using the extracted built-up areas and the population growth of the area. So statistically, we analyze the urban spatial expansion index, the population growth index, and the extent of urban growth and sprawl. So the accuracy assessment was also conducted during the study and during the analysis, just undertaking field verification using this Google Earth and GPS control point survey. So when you are coming to the results, there is a physical growth aspect, and under this, the spatial growth or increase in built-up area was also experienced. So this map shows for the last 13 years there is a spatial expansions of the urban areas. This is for Hosaena and this is also for Sodo, including their various built-up area increase. Just here from 1984 to 1923, 2015, and the last 2020. And this is area in hectares. As you see, 1984 timeline shows the less number of urban area in size, and but here after 30 years the area becomes larger. For Arba Minch, for example, initially it was 258 hectares, but now comes to 1,745. For Hosaena, 104 hectares. After 13 years, it became 1,723. And for Woliata Sodo, it is 112 hectares, but now become 1,112. And this graph shows us the built-up area increment for the three urban areas. As from the graph, you can just see that the built-up urban area is highly increasing for Arba Minch and Hosaena than Sodo. And the highest percentage of built-up area is observed during the 1984 and the 1994 for the three towns, specifically as highlighted in red line from the table. Next, the physical aspect is also shown. This is the graph, and the percentage is also shown. Here is the growth area, especially how this built-up area is increasing here. You can also see this map short how the built-up area is spatially increasing, and this is also for Hosaena, the built-up area in graph and in map. This is also the built-up area summarizing from the timeline as appeared. Here is also for Sodo, the area in graph and the map showing the built-up area. And here is also the summary for built-up area, unbuilt, and the vegetation is covered for Sodo. The next consideration for the urban growth aspect is the population growth analysis. And here is the summary of the population size of the urban areas selected for the study. And from this, you can just see from the graph which have the highest urban populations and the highest population growth rate. It is highest for Arba Minch and next for Hosaena, and thirdly for Sodo. Here is the population index, density index. The density index is high for Sodo than Arba Minch and Hosaena. And this is the third aspect that we consider. The result shows that the population growth and the built-up area for urban centers to just determine the extent of the spatial expansion or the extent of urban sprawl. Here is the annual spatial expansion rate, which is higher for Hosaena and Arba Minch, but less for Hosaena and Sodo, at least for Arba Minch. And here is the extent of just the urban growth and the sprawl, where it takes negative tensions here from 1984 up to 2003, but takes the highest for the urban growth and extent from 2003 up to 2020, and the highest is here recorded around 2015 up to 2020 for the past 5 years. Yes. And it is very high for here for Hosaena, and it is the same for Sodo and Arba Minch. Okay, the result here shows the sprawl of those urban areas for the three towns, and this is specifically for each urban areas how they spatially show their expansion. So to conclude, there is also an increase in area as well as there is an increase in population number. So this area and population increase shows that there is an imbalance between the areal expansion and the population growth rate. So finally, to recommend, 3 strategies were recommended as infill development, expansion area development, and urban growth area delineation. This map shows the three strategies which are devised to control the urban growth aspect. Thank you very much for your attention.